Superpowers are a thing we often see in movies, often with one unique strength, and it's bestowed upon one individual, and it makes them stand out from the rest. But while it's a common trend in superhero movies for a single individual to have all the powers, it's very rare to see an entire group having superpowers. It's very common to find people with unique abilities that can often be compared to superpowers, but the same can't usually be said for a group of people, or tribes in real life. All across the world is a variety of cultures, traditions, religions, and people that create their own sense of community and growth as they develop within their social groups, isolated from others. This sense of community and family stands out the most for tribesmen that rely on not only one another for survival, but on the values and traditions they've held since their conception. So today, here at Unexplained Mysteries, we'll be taking a look at 3 tribes and people with unique superpowers. The Bajau people. The Bajau people is a dominant ethnic group that originated in the island of Tawi-Tawi in the Philippines. They've spent over 1,000 years wandering the seas of northern Asia and are known to settle around the isles of Indonesia. So what is it that's put this relatively unknown tribe on the map? It's because of their extraordinary ability to hold their breath underwater. The tribe has exceptional freediving abilities, and their daily apnea diving time is the greatest reported in humans. They spend a total of more than 5 hours submerged in water each day. The average member of the tribe can dive an incredible 230 feet underwater, aided by nothing more than a set of weights and a pair of wooden goggles. But what is it that makes these people possess such extraordinary underwater diving ability? The answer to that is their large spleen. The spleen plays one of the most important roles in underwater diving. When you go underwater, the spleen responds by putting your body in survival mode. Your body underwater survival mode begins by first reducing the heart rate and directing blood to vital organs. The spleen then contracts to inject oxygenated red blood cells into the circulation. When the spleen contracts, it boosts your oxygen levels by 9%. What makes the Bajau tribe so good underwater is because their spleen is a whopping 50% larger than the normal human. This means they get to save a lot more oxygen when submerged underwater. Scientists have conducted research on them in 2018 and came up with these findings. Among these scientists is Melissa Lardo from Cambridge University. She spent several months in Indonesia conducting ultrasound scans and taking genetic samples of people from Bajau and their neighbourhood tribe. Her research showed that the Bajau spleen was permanently enlarged and didn't get bigger simply as a response to diving. She also speculated that their 1,000 years of free diving associated with their life on the sea has enabled them to evolve this special ability to facilitate their lifestyle. Their underwater ability is believed by many other researchers to have resulted from natural selection. But genetics isn't the only factor that contributes to the Bajau's stunning underwater ability. Some intentionally rupture their eardrums at a very tender age so they can be more efficient with diving and hunting at the sea. They eventually do become incredibly better than they are, but this action comes with the price of a loss of hearing as they get older. It's not known for sure how long they can stay underwater, as this hasn't been tested yet. However, one member of the tribe told scientist Miss Lardo that he thinks that he once dived for over 13 minutes. For comparison with this statistic, an average person can only hold their breath for roughly 45 seconds to a minute, meaning by the time you've resurfaced for air 13 times, the Bajau people of Indonesia will only have been coming up for their first quick breath. This is made all the more impressive at the depth they're able to hold their breath at, which for an average person could be more than half their breathing hold capacity. The Bajau people are also known as the sea nomads. Their native ancestors used the area they now live in for its rich resources in the water and lived the majority of their lives in the ocean. Some Aboriginal Australians have supervisions. Next, we learn about how the extraordinary eye vision of the Aboriginal Australians is superhuman. Their vision is so good they can see things that are 4 times smaller than the average human. This ability is well exploited by the Australian Army called the North Horse. The North Horse is an infantry regiment of the Australian Army Reserve that was formed in 1981 and largely made up of Indigenous people. The North Horse team is particularly sharp in seeing an enemy from a long way out. North Horse are employed in surveillance of the remote areas of northern Australia. Spotters are used for finding illegal fishing ships or asylum seeker vessels that may be unnoticed to the average human eye. This incredible ability even has a name in the army that they call super sight or sharper vision. There are several Australian professors who have studied the super sight, and one of them is Professor Hugh Taylor, who has an amazing revelation to make. He links the super sight to the way the brain and retina of the Aboriginal are wired. He reported that the average vision is considered to be a 6:6 vision, which means someone standing 6 meters away from the eye chart would be able to see it as clearly as an average person at 6 meters away. So when compared to us, the Aboriginal people have a 6:1.4 vision. So what does that mean? It means they can see things from 6 meters away that an average person could see from 1.4 meters away. Not every one of them is gifted with such amazing vision, but it's incredible to know that amongst them, even some of them have much better vision than we do. Professor Taylor also reported that the Aboriginal Australian vision is so good that you need a pair of binoculars to be able to see most of the things they can see with their naked eyes. To show how extraordinary their vision can be, Professor Taylor cited very good examples from the ancient Aboriginal people and their descriptions of the constellation of stars. The Aboriginal Australians observed and kept this record of the constellation of stars in 1840. When modern-day astronomers were looking at it, they were amazed at how the Aboriginal were able to see the stars. This is because some of the stars they noted were completely invisible to the normal human's eyes. The modern astronomers had to make use of binoculars before they were able to see all the missing stars that the Aboriginal had identified in their reports. It's not just the ability to see further that's their only advantage. They're also resistant to eye defect. Findings made by Professor Taylor also reveal that the Aboriginal children are 5 times less likely to be born with poor vision than non-Aboriginal children. This means they have slight advantages from birth and aren't prone to eye defects like normal people are. Al Herpin. The last story is about a single individual called Al Herpin. When we talk of superpowers, there are so many superpowered abilities one would crave. Superhuman vision, invisibility, the ability to fly. But have you ever wondered what it would be like if your super ability meant that you didn't have to rest? This means you could do as much as you want with your body and mind without ever needing a break. That's the story of Al Herpin, the man who never slept. Al Herpin was a man who suffered from a mysterious genetic disorder that means he never needed to sleep. Even though he never slept, he lived his entire life in good health and had a constant level of high awareness, defying all scientific understanding of the necessity for sleep. Al Herpin drew attention when he first made his claim of a lack of need for sleep in 1940. It was reported that when medical professionals went to his house for a check, they found no bed or other sleep-related furniture. The only thing he had was a rocking chair. So what did Al Herpin do with his endless nights? Being that he was just an ordinary guy, he didn't really have much to do with his nights. He would stack up newspapers, going through them one after another until it was morning, where he would rise from his chair and go to work. He would later be known throughout the world as the man who never slept. So what do you make of these real-life people with superhuman powers? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comment section below and help us by growing this community whilst working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.